A few years ago, James Charles was a staple name in the beauty space. He was the top beauty guru. People looked to him for tutorials and makeup advice. He had amazing opportunities thrown his way, and he was easily getting over 10 million views on every video. Clearly, a lot has changed. As you guys know, over these past few years, James has gone through a lot of controversy. We had the bi-sister situation, he redeemed himself, only to get caught doing pretty much the exact same thing again. Ever since then, things have kind of gone downhill a bit for James. Prior to his scandal last year, James was getting close to the TikTokers like Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio. He was doing videos with the Hype House, the Sway House, he was going to TikTok parties. A lot of people were actually happy to see him shift from being friends with people like Jeffree and Tati to people more in his age group. James has always jumped from friendship group to friendship group, and it's always kept him relevant. When Emma Chamberlain was gaining popularity, he formed the Sister Squad. Then when the beauty community was in its prime, he became best friends with Jeffree. And finally, the TikTokers. Unfortunately for James, after his scandal last year, a lot of the TikTokers actually distanced themselves from him. These people were still up and coming, and a lot of them didn't want to taint their image by continuing their friendship with James. Ever since then, James' channel has really done a 180. He's no longer getting the 20+ million views or doing collabs with huge celebrities like Kylie. Now, I will be fair and say that could be the natural ups and downs of YouTube. A lot of people have lower views right now. People are starting to get back to their normal lives, going back to work, so it's only natural that views would slip. But his views are way down, and he's even started to shift his content. During the peak of his channel, James was posting strictly beauty content, but now things have changed. The content that James is doing now is heavily catered to a younger audience. It's mainly reaction videos, cooking videos, and challenges. It's clear that James has realized that beauty content isn't as popular anymore, and he's trying to give his channel a boost by branching out. I'm not saying this as a negative thing. To have longevity on YouTube, you really have to be willing to branch out, do what's popular, and change as your audience changes too. You need to realize when something isn't working anymore and shift your content to what does work. I think the pandemic has drastically changed the makeup industry. Everyone was stuck at home, not going out anymore, not going to work, not going to school. So naturally, not a lot of people were wearing makeup. Throw in having to wear a mask when you actually did get to leave the house, there was literally no point of wearing any. People started to shift their focus onto skincare. Elle even did a whole article about this, and it was titled, "The Pandemic Has Changed Our Relationship with Skincare." With most people no longer going into the office, makeup has been lying dormant in drawers around the world, pushing skincare into the forefront. Gone were the days of looking for the most full coverage foundation. The trend on TikTok started to shift to a more natural, no makeup look. I'm talking glossier skin tint as foundation, soapy brows, and a bit of mascara. From a business standpoint, you would think right now might not be the best time to launch a makeup brand, but James Charles thinks otherwise. For the past few years, James has been teasing his makeup line. Back in 2020, he tweeted, "Woo, the plans I have for a makeup line are truly something else." But it's been nearly 2 years later, and he's launched nothing. Back in May, he posted an update on his Instagram story, and he said, "Getting a head start testing out a product for my brand that won't launch for a few years. What do you think it is?" A few years. I mean, I know makeup takes a long time to produce and plan, but it's already been 2 years. Hopefully he's talking about the product taking a few years and his actual brand comes out way before that, because I kind of feel like James is already too late to the game. If James had done a makeup brand, say, prior to 2020, I feel like it would have been huge. Makeup sales have already slowed down, and so has James's channel. He isn't even posting beauty content as much as he used to, so it seems like he's missed his timing with this. Even Nikita Dragun pumped out a beauty line before James. Nikita's been doing Dragun Beauty for a while now, and even at that, everyone said that she was too late and everything she was launching was already boring. I'm gonna take a bit of a wild guess here and say that James probably had things close to ready last year, and then once everything happened, his plans changed. There's no way it could take this long. Even Addison Rae had Item Beauty out within the first year and a half of her career. Addison is in Sephora, she has multiple products out, yet James? He's still deciding on a name for his brand. He recently posted on his Instagram stories and said, "Just found out that I might have to change my makeup brand's name after 2 years of working on it. Anyone have any ideas?" I know these things happen when you're starting a business, but 2 years into it, you would think James would have business lawyers looking into trademarks and researching to make sure there were no issues, especially 2 years into planning. It makes me wonder what he picked as the name, because I remember him saying that he didn't want his makeup brand to include his name or sister, and now he's also saying he doesn't want it to include cosmetics either. I guess these things can happen even if you have the best lawyers looking into it, because Hailey Bieber is actually dealing with the same thing. She recently launched her new skincare brand called Rhode. Rhode is Hailey's middle name, so you would think it would be a safe name to use for your brand, but apparently not. There's actually a fashion brand called Rhode, and they've been in business for 13 years now. They're now worried that Hailey, being as popular and as well known as she is, will most likely overshadow their brand. They're now suing her, and in their lawsuit, they say, "Rhode now boasts an impressive reputation with items worn by the likes of Beyonce and Rihanna. The company expects to make $14.5 million this year alone." Rhode is trademarked for several common clothing items and accessories, and they filed requests to expand to other areas such as makeup and skincare. Furthermore, the lawsuit claims that the owners were initially promised the @Rhode Instagram handle by the platform. But after initially promising it to us, Instagram decided to allow Miss Bieber to use it, even though it had no post until July 8th of 2022. They also alleged that Hailey asked to buy their brand from them years prior. So yeah, trademarks can be extremely tricky. If Hailey Bieber's lawyers could overlook a potential issue, I'm sure James's lawyers could too. Hopefully he didn't start printing labels already, because that would be a costly mistake to fix. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. Do you think James missed his timing for his makeup brand? Or do you think he probably still has a dedicated audience that will still sell it out? Let me know, and I'll see you next time.